After months of waiting and endless speculation, it is finally happening. The Fujifilm X-T30 III is confirmed, and the specs just leaked. But here is what everyone is losing their minds over right now: the release date. When is this camera actually dropping? Stick around because I am revealing the exact date in this video, and trust me, it is way sooner than you think. Now, before we dive deep into everything Fujifilm is packing into this camera, if you want to stay ahead of the latest leaks and rumors in the camera world, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you do not miss out when these announcements drop. Let me walk you through what is actually inside this thing, because every single spec tells a story about where Fujifilm is taking this camera and why it matters to you as a photographer or content creator. First, the sensor. Fujifilm is equipping the X-T30 III with a 26.1 megapixel APS-CX Trans CMOS 4 sensor. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Wait, that is the same sensor from the previous generation. And you would be right. But before you close this video, hear me out. Fujifilm paired that sensor with the X Processor 5, the same powerhouse processor that is in the X-T5 and X-H2. This combination is where the magic happens. You are getting faster readout speeds, which means less rolling shutter in your video work. You are getting better noise handling, which means your low-light shots are going to be cleaner and more usable straight out of camera. And most importantly, you are getting access to the newer film simulations that Fujifilm has been rolling out, including the beloved nostalgic NEG and potentially even Reala Ace, which has been turning heads on social media for its stunning color rendering. Imagine walking through a bustling street market at dusk, the golden hour light painting everything in warm tones, and you just dial in nostalgic NEG, shoot JPEG, and your images come out looking like they belong in a vintage magazine spread. No Lightroom needed, no spending hours tweaking sliders. That is the Fujifilm magic, and the X-T30 III is bringing it to a more accessible price point. But wait until you hear what they did with the body design. And yes, I am still holding on to that release date. I promise it is coming. But you need to hear this first because it is going to make you understand why people are already lining up to pre-order this camera. Here is where Fujifilm made a decision that is going to divide some people but excite a whole lot more. The X-T30 III keeps the same compact body as the X-T30 II. But Fujifilm did something that is genuinely brilliant. They replaced the drive dial with a dedicated film simulation dial. Think about that for a moment. No more diving into menus to change your film simulation. No more missing a shot because you were fumbling through settings. You just turn a dial and instantly you are in classic chrome or Velvia or Acros or whatever mood you are trying to capture. For street photographers who need to adapt quickly to changing light and scenes, this is a game changer. For travel photographers who want to experiment with different looks without breaking their flow, this is exactly what they have been asking for. Fujifilm listened, and they delivered. And just when you think that is impressive enough, wait until you hear about the autofocus system. But also, keep watching because that release date reveal is coming up right after I show you these next features. And honestly, when you hear when this is dropping, you are going to want to clear your schedule. Fujifilm has taken the improved subject detection autofocus that debuted in the X-T50 and brought it straight into the X-T30 III. We are talking about better tracking, more reliable face and eye detection, and smarter algorithms that can actually predict where your subject is going to move. If you have ever shot fast-moving subjects like kids playing, pets running around, or even just tried to capture candid moments at a family gathering, you know how frustrating it can be when your camera just cannot keep up. The X-T30 III is designed to keep up. It shoots at 8 frames per second with the mechanical shutter, and if you switch to electronic, you are getting 20 frames per second. That is not just fast, that is confidence. That is knowing you are not going to miss the moment. And for the videographers watching this, do not think Fujifilm forgot about you. The X-T30 III shoots 4K at 60 frames per second with F-Log2 support. If you are creating content for YouTube, if you are a filmmaker working on passion projects, if you are a hybrid shooter who needs both stills and video capability in one compact body, this camera is speaking your language. F-Log 2 gives you incredible dynamic range to work with in post-production, and 60 frames per second means your slow-motion B-roll is going to look buttery smooth. Picture this. You are filming a travel vlog in a European city. The light is perfect. You need to grab a shot quickly without setting up a whole rig, and you just pull out the X-T30 III, hit record, and you have got professional-grade footage ready to go. That is the kind of flexibility that changes how you create. All right, I know you have been patient. You have stuck with me through all these incredible specs, and now it is time. When is this camera actually being announced? When can you pre-order it? When can you start shooting with it? Here is the answer you have been waiting for. Fujifilm is officially announcing the X-T30 III on October 23, 2025. Mark that date on your calendar. Set a reminder on your phone, because this is not just another press release. This is Fujifilm stepping back into the ring and reminding everyone why they built one of the most passionate fan bases in the photography world. And here is the best part. Shipping is expected to begin in late November or December of 2025, which means if you pre-order early, you could be shooting with this camera before the year ends. Imagine capturing the holidays, the winter landscapes, the end-of-year trips with a camera that is loaded with features we have only seen in Fujifilm's flagship models until now. October 23rd. That is less time than you think to start saving up, to start planning which lens you want to pair with it, to start dreaming about all the images you are going to create. And speaking of planning, you probably want to know how much this is going to cost you, right? Because specs are great, release dates are exciting, but the price is what actually determines whether this camera fits into your life or stays on your wish list. So let me break down the numbers for you. Here is the straight truth. Cameras are expensive. Photography as a hobby or profession requires investment. And in recent years, it has felt like every new camera announcement comes with a price tag that makes you think twice. But Fujifilm is positioning the X-T30 III at a price point that could genuinely shake up the mid-range market. The expected price for the body only is between $1,050 and $1,100. The kit with that new XC13 to 33mm lens is expected to land somewhere around $1,300 to $1,400. Now, let me put that in perspective for you. You are getting X-Processor 5 performance, the latest film simulations, improved autofocus, 4K 60 frames per second video, and that brilliant new film simulation dial, all for roughly the same price as other mid-range APS-C cameras that do not offer nearly the same level of character and shooting experience. This is not just about specs anymore. This is about what kind of photographer you want to be and what kind of images you want to create. So here is the bottom line. Do not forget to like this video if you are excited about the X-T30 III, and if you want to see what other cameras might be dropping this year, check out our top 10 rumored cameras for 2025 next. There are some absolute monsters on that list that you are not going to want to miss. Until next time, keep shooting, keep creating, and I will see you in the next one.